did a good job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are in the building.
We're back.
We're back, baby. Back like we never left, man.
Like we never, ever left.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. My God, be in the merch. My God, be in the merch. First of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to my guy, TJ, over at I Pray Clothing. I'm wearing it today. Make sure I got my guy some, you know.
I'm whipping it out of the first show on Friday, baby. I can't wait.
Yeah. Definitely. So we definitely going to show them love during the show so you guys can see their merch. They hooked up all the players of the game with merch, and they even gave our next guest some as well for a great historical run and what he accomplished yesterday, his whole team. So without further ado, I think we should just start the show. Correct?
Let's go, baby.
All right. Coach, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Man, what a weekend in basketball for New York City. This has been a whirlwind. I feel like we're still riding it. Pause, and man, it is glad to be back, Pooh. Let's rock it.
Man, listen, first of all, I want to say big congratulations to you. Made a major move a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have any idea what was going on. My guy keep it secret from me. But let's give a round of applause to my guy, Coach Brian Kirk, the new head writer over at Maine Hoops. Like, we're going to call him the head guy because that's what he is. He is the best basketball sports writer in the business. If y'all don't know, now you know. Goodbye, NYC Hoops. Sorry. My guy making moves. He's going all across the country. He is nationwide right now. So tap in. Make sure you check out his articles, man, because he's the best writer in the business. And I'm glad to call him my partner here at High School Basketball Weekly, man. He's been rocking me since day one. Appreciate you, Coach, and congratulations. Big whistle on the play.
Oh, man. You're the best, Pooh. I appreciate you so much, man. You're the best.
Nah, brother. I appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. And I want to say this, brother, because I didn't get a chance to mention it on the show. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here every part of the way. This High School Basketball Weekly is really taking off. We've really done some tremendous things for the basketball community and continue to do so. And I just want to say thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate you, man, always.
Thank you, Pooh, man. I mean, you're killing me already, Sunshine. I wasn't ready for this. This wasn't in the pregame script.
Not at all. Come on, man. You're a big part of what we do over here, man. So I just want to show you some love, man, and let everybody know, man, that you definitely the guy, man. And look, we here.
We taking over, baby. Bro. We're taking over. Let's go.
That's right. Slowly but surely. Yep.
I mean, if you guys didn't see my guy Pooh on NYC Hoops he killed it, man. I was so proud of him. I saw it last night. That's how addicted I am.
Hold on. First of all, because let's get that out of your you made that mistake twice already. Let's get that out of your vocabulary. You are no longer there with NYC Hoops. Okay? This is Sage Media Solutions and NYC Prospects. Let's make some noise. He's still stuck in his NYC Hoop days. He don't realize he's a Maine Hoops guy right now. Yo, you a Maine Hoops guy right now. You big time, fam. Like, come on. Let's be real with that. Let's get that out your system right now.
So true. So true. So
That's
true.
right. That's right.
Always on me, man. But
No
yeah,
doubt.
Sage Media delivered another one, man. And NYC Prospects was you guys gelled so. I mean, it felt like you guys. It was like your 10th show. I mean, it was awesome, and the questions and the knowledge that he has of the PSAL is just fantastic, especially for the kids. His story was awesome too to learn about him, and even I was learning stuff about you during that. So I thought it was great. Hopefully, everybody checks that out for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Yesterday, Borough Championship games were amazing. Every game went down to the wire. And again, I'm gonna tap on to what my guy, Coach B said. First of all, let me give a big shout out to the Two Clap Show, Sage Media Solutions, for inviting me down for their pre-show. I had a great time with my guy, Randy Milliard of NYC Prospects. Salute to my guy Tone for sure. Now let's get down to our business, to the business at hand. Our first guest led his team into history yesterday by becoming the only 3A team in PSAL history to win a Borough Championship. All right. They hail from Queens. His Epic South team defeated a tough 4A Forest Hill team 58-53. And they also have a good chance to repeat as city and state champions. All right. So without further ado, help me welcome to the show, Epic South head coach and New York City great, Mike Beckles.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
How you doing, coach?
Wow. Thanks for the
having me.
time, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, coach, yesterday I told you, man, we were so proud of you, man, and what you have accomplished at Epic South. And you guys made history yesterday. I know a lot of coaches won, their fourth, right? Coach Rose made history by winning his fourth Borough Championship. Coach Pollard definitely built his program up from the ground up, been doing it 20 some odd years, winning his Borough Championship, and Coach Torrance, winning his. Okay, so over at TMA. But what you did was very special, man, and haven't been done before. So we had to bring you on for sure.
Appreciate that.
And Coach, I want to ask, does the pressure start to build throughout the day? Because it's a long day waiting for that last game. Is there any kind of messages that you kind of were spreading out to your players, especially some of your young guys? Especially I saw you guys trying to get loose behind watching in the bleachers while you're watching a little bit. What were you kind of telling those guys in those kind of moments?
Well, I don't think there's any pressure built up. I think my guys they worked extremely hard and were prepared for this point. I think it was great for them to be showcased as the featured game, considering we were playing in Queens. So I think my kids were ready for the moment, and I think that the work that we put in all year pretty much showcased itself yesterday.
What have been, what have the last 24 hours been like for you? Is it just like business as usual, or did you understand and was thinking about the history you guys made yesterday?
I mean, yesterday was a part of our team's goal. We got 3 goals this season. And that was goal number 2. We secured our division championship, going undefeated, and our second goal was to win the boroughs. So, I'm excited and I'm extremely proud of my team. But now job not done yet. We preparing for the city playoffs now.
I love that message, and I think the weather may have helped because I think Epic South family would have tore down Queens if they really could if it was a nice day because that environment, those guys were loud. I mean, you guys get a ton of support from your families, all your supporters, your crowd. Talk about the impact that those people have had. I mean, you got some great fans at Epic South.
I think what makes Epic South extremely unique is it's a very small community. It's only a school of about 375 students.
Wow.
So we're on the 4th floor of a junior high school building in the penthouse. And shout out to the administration. Dr. Mohan, the principal, and the APs and the staff, they're amazing. Even though it's a small school, they really come together and support us at all costs. Cheerleaders came out yesterday. So yeah, definitely thankful to get the support, especially our families. We got some committed parents and close family friends.
Whenever I talk about Epic South, people always say to me, "Who? The 4A killers?" It's a fact. It's a fact. Who are some of the other 4A teams that went down to Epic South this year, Coach?
Well, we beat Cardoza in the semifinals, and we played Queens High School of Teaching in the first round. But we also played. I mean, we played 4A teams. I try to play the best competition and prepare my kids for the season. I think the only way to be the best is to play the best. So
That's a fact.
we played Campus Man at the beginning of the year, and we were one of the first teams that played Jeff early in the year. We got a lot of heat about that too, but I mean, you saw they've been doing that consistently. But we're not scared of the smoke.
Yeah, and I love that about Epic South. I see them all over Long Island schedule too. I know you guys are willing to travel, go anywhere, get your team, kind of prepared. Last year you had so much success, and I know like you said there was no pressure, but I know the kids that were there were wanting to step up. Talk about some of the kids who have kind of made a jump from last year to this year that have really helped Epic South kind of get to where they are today.
Uh, well, I mean, I think every kid in our program is extremely special and plays a big role. Some of the major kids who stepped up is 3-year starter Marquise Lloyd. Um, he actually played hurt yesterday. He had a torn Achilles. He went to doctors doing cryo. Had a tape job. He had those tall Kobe's on playing, but he played a huge for us yesterday. And Adrian McIntosh played very big defensively, holding the point guard to only 1 point in the second half. Um, and then we got some guys who only been with us for 1 year that really stepped up. Frankie stepped up huge. Polite stepped up huge. And our point guard, Mikael Joyner, played big as well.
No doubt my guy CK from top, upstate, says he remember your team for the tournament in Elmira last year against Mount.
Yes, we were up there last year.
Yeah, you guys be spread it out, man. Pause, for sure. Listen.
One of the things we try to do with our program, ever since I've been coaching, we try to travel. The game of basketball has been amazing to me. So if we could give our kids exposure and opportunity, we try to do that. This year we went to DC and we also went to Georgia.
And Coach, can you talk about, like the impact that traveling has for some of these kids, because some of these kids have never really traveled before, they've never been in these areas. They don't even know the teams that they're playing, things like that, or the tournaments or anything like that. So talk about the importance of traveling, because I think more teams should do it. I love when New York City teams travel. I know it's hard for a lot of programs, but if you can, you definitely should.
Yeah, I think traveling is extremely important. I mean, I think there's a lot of work that goes behind it. Shout out to my school for supporting it, the parents as well. I think for us, just getting out and not just seeing like different places culturally and learning, but just playing a different style of basketball in different regions is important. And we also play good teams. And I think coming from New York, whenever you go out of town, don't matter who you're playing, teams are up for you.
Of course.
So I think for us, the key was just that bonding experience. I think every time we traveled, our team grew a little bit closer and gained some experiences with some teammates they're not familiar with.
Love that.
Let's talk about side note real quick, right? When D.L. Legree decided to take his talents to Lawrence Woodmere, did I mess his name up?
D.L. Legore.
Legore. Sorry about that. Legore. Shout out to the Legree family. I still got their name in my head. We'll get into that with the Jeff game, because that was the ref that made that call, but that's a whole nother story, right? All right. he went to Lars Woodman, and I think people on the street was like saying, what is Epic gonna do? And then Marquise Lloyd, who's been around and know what it's like to play and win in that program, has stepped up to be the true leader on that team. Man, he came out on fire yesterday, and I wouldn't have known he had an injury. So that I guess as the game went on, that's why he kind of slowed down a little bit, because he was hurting a little bit. But tell me about Marquise, man, what he's meant to the program so far.
Shout out to Marquise Lloyd, class of 26, him and his family. I met Marquise when he was in the 8th grade, and just a tremendous upside. And I think a lot of people sought after Marquise. He could have went to any school in the city, and really, thankful that him and his family trusted in me and my vision that I had at Epic South, because I hadn't created that yet. I basically told them what the plan was based on my experience and what I was capable of doing, and they trusted the process. And he's been a big part of that. He's been to 2 championships in his 2 years so far, hoping to go to 3rd one this year. And I think he's increased his role. That first year we went to played against Transit Tech. I think he learned a lot, and I know he understood. He wished he could have did more as a freshman. And I think last year as a sophomore, he played a huge part in us winning, hitting some timely baskets. And he was also hurt in last year's championship game. But he's a fighter. He's gonna play, you know, as best as he can, regardless of his injuries. That's one thing I love about him.
And Coach, he's only a junior?
He's only a junior, yes, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's tough right there.
And I wanna piggyback on another player question for you too, Coach. Can you talk about the importance of your point guard? Because I was just blown away with his performance throughout the game. He got tougher and tougher. He had big moments for you guys. He kept you guys calm. He got you guys great looks during the game, and he looked like a leader despite being a young guy out there.
So I want to make a correction. So that's Mikal Jordan. He's the PSL, for whatever reason, has him listed as a sophomore. He is a senior.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole game, that's what we were calling him. We was calling him a sophomore stud like that.
He's a senior, and he was huge for us. He really controlled the game. He was definitely a difference maker, and he knew going into the game that he had to play big for us to really transition into becoming Borough champs. And he showed that not just offensively, but also defensively. Took some big charges, got some big steals, and just his energy. You just gotta love his intensity throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that was salute to my guy Basil Kennedy from New Jersey, always in the building. We appreciate you, brother, for tapping in, for sure. Yesterday, a guy who was hard to not notice on the court, Francisco Margione. Like, this kid was all over loose balls, rebounds, getting steals. He was just all over the place. And I told you earlier, Coach, when he came out, you look at him and the eye test, we do as basketball players, and you like, you may overlook that kid, but he gonna hurt you in so many different ways. How important has he been to Epic South this year in his role?
Frankie's been huge. I don't think he's touched the surface of his potential yet. He's actually lost 25, 30 pounds since he's been at our school, and I think he could probably lose another 15. He's really getting into himself physically. He's very skilled. He could do a variety of things. But one thing I'm most impressed is his toughness. He had a lot of big plays for us, diving on the floor. He hit those threes in the second half that were huge. And I think this was a moment that he was prepared for. He hasn't been playing that great recently in terms of our expectation and standard, because he's a good player, but he hit some big shots yesterday, and that shows that he's a big time player.
And Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about this Forest Hills team. Because it was the first time that I got to see them kind of live. I've seen them on some live streams and things like that. But they had some young pieces. They had some older guys too. Talk about, how kind of impressive the season that they kind of had because, I know you guys knocked them off, but they definitely had a great year. And, what did you guys think of them? How did you guys kind of prepare for them?
So, they're 4-8, and I knew that they were a team that we would potentially play in the Borough. So,
Hmm.
I hadn't really paying attention to them until the Boroughs actually started. But just in my just checking them out, running, seeing some of the things that they do, I was very impressed. I think their freshman is very tough. The kid, number 0, Tut, he's very tough, and I think overall their team played really hard, very good defensively, scrappy team. So shout out to them. That's Coach Ben's good. Ben's a good friend of mine. He's doing a good job over there, and wishing them best of luck in the playoffs.
Yeah, Coach Ben did a hell of a job with that team that he has, man, and he has some really good players. Uh, you touched on um, Aaron Tutt and definitely TD Pregno. He definitely made his presence felt yesterday. Uh, but yeah, definitely Forest Hills definitely had a good season, man, and you played a very good team yesterday. Had a very good game plan, and you guys came out victorious. So definitely. My guy from On One Media, salute, man. He was out there filming with us yesterday. Appreciate you, brother. He said a true testament to great talent, to great young talent. So definitely, man. That's right on point with that. Let's talk about guys like Miles Hebert and Polite Morgan. Like these guys came up huge yesterday, right? And your bench is so deep. You could put in guys and people that come in, they fill in their roles and they know exactly what you need them to do.
Everybody plays their part.
Yes.
Miles Hibbert, great job yesterday. I'm so proud of Miles and Polite. Those guys have been stepping up all year, and especially down the stretch in the boroughs. Polite is one of the main reasons we were able to even get to the Borough Championship game, the game that he had against Cardoza. He stepped up huge. But yesterday, both of those guys played a big game in terms of Miles Hibbert. I think he's one of the best shooters in the city. I think he displayed that yesterday. He's a player that to look out for. He's going to be big in our run going, trying to repeat. He's more than a shooter, though. He has the ability to put the ball on the floor. Defensively, he's gotten better. He's scrappy and just a big time shot maker. And in terms of Polite, he's got size. He's about 6'6", but he's versatile. He rebounds, plays defense, and he has the ability to guard guards and big. So he played big for us. And really proud to coach them and, have them being part of our program.
Now, Coach, I got to ask because did you have any football in you growing up? Because when I see you on the sidelines, man, you remind me of one of my defensive back coaches going crazy on the sidelines. And I just got to ask you that question. And on top of that, as you've progressed as a coach, do you think that a really, really young, maybe in your first couple of years, would be able to pull off a win like that? Or do you think the experience that you've gone through has really helped you in those situations to kind of get where you are now as a coach?
So I actually used to play football. I started off playing organized football in the second grade. I played for the Brooklyn Skyhawks. So yeah, I actually played football growing up.
I love it.
I played that until eighth grade, and that's when I started playing organized basketball. So yeah, football is in my blood, and I do get my intensity and work ethic from football. Um, in terms of coaching and my experience, I think yes. I think as you grow as a coach, you get better, you learn. I think I've always been good at what I'm doing, but I think the years help you, your experiences as you grow, the mistakes you make, you learn. And, that's what you do as a coach. You learn from your experiences and you keep building and getting better.
Yeah, I feel like your adjustments, coach, have really just gotten better and better, and I feel like you do a great job of preparing, one through the entire team, and I think you really excel at those kind of things, especially recently.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And shout out to my team for having work ethic and being coachable because I set a high standard. It's not an easy thing playing for me, but I think the kids see the results when you buy in, and that's huge.
Yeah, King Boy said, Coach of the Year. Never seen a coach that coaches like he's playing. Make sure his players are on point, on and off the court. Salute King Boy. Appreciate that. Right on point with that. That was awesome. Look, me and Coach, we I've always watched you on the sideline, but me and Coach, we enjoyed watching you yesterday. I said, Coach, he took off his jacket. It's about to start. It's about to start. Yeah. So now, I said earlier, you've got ready for, the 3A city playoff by winning the boroughs. What did you tell your guys at the end of the game about looking forward to the city playoffs and what they still have to accomplish?
I didn't really touch too much on that. I think we worked so hard. I mean, I know what the plan is ahead. I just really want them to enjoy the moment, is which they were doing. I didn't want to take that away from them. I think they making history in so many ways. What we accomplished, playing the schools that we beat, and being a 3A accomplishing this goal. I just wanted for them to enjoy the moment. They know work is ahead. They know that's what it's about. So I didn't want to take that moment away from them. I just wanted them to shine.
No, and I love that, Coach, and that's why you're a guy that makes it about the players. But I want you to kind of look ahead a little bit. How do you kind of prepare for the playoffs? Like, what's the timeline? Do you guys have like a plan? Are you adding any maybe scrimmages or anything like that, or are you just going to kind of maybe give them some off time? What do you kind of do to prepare from the boroughs to the playoffs?
Well, we already had our week planned out. We have 2 scrimmages this week. We'll practice Monday through Friday. I'm going to give them off next weekend. We'll be in the weight room a couple days a week this week. And, guys like Marquise Floyd, guys who are banged up, obviously that may look different. They'll heal up, get healthy. Our first playoff game, I believe, isn't until March 3rd. So we do have some time before we play, but you know, teams are going to be scouting, teams are going to be paying attention to details. So we got to add and switch some things up and prepare for this postseason as we make our way for this next run. So there's a lot of adjustments to be made, but I think our foundation is in place and guys just got to be coachable and be ready.
Now, the question I've been wanting to ask you for a very long time, because my prediction is Epic South and Achievement First in the championship. Have you seen Achievement First play yet?
So how I do things is when there's some teams that I could potentially play and or face in the future, I just like start putting notes on them. So I don't really focus too much on the team because it's not current, but I got a foul on Achievement First. I haven't got to it yet, but I've been paying attention, but not in detail. But I know I actually recruited their head coach, Siobhan, when I was the head coach of South Shore. So shout out to him. He's doing well over there, building the program. So but I know they got some players, they have some talent, and I know they've been making a run, and it's a Brooklyn team. So I haven't seen them in detail, but I know they're one of the teams that we could potentially face in the playoffs.
And Coach, could you maybe give us some examples of some other teams that potentially could see you guys in the finals or Final Four?
I mean, a lot of it is based on the rankings and who places what. I mean, I see graphics making it to the boroughs. Obviously, I think there'll probably be a candidate for a top team. But you got some other teams out here that that've been good. We'll be prepared to face anybody. Like I said, it's a different time of year. Records go out the window, so we got to be prepared to face anybody. And we will be.
Some tough teams in the 3A, Bedford Academy, Graphics,
A lot of good teams.
A lot of good teams. Transit, Murray Burcham.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams, man. And that's what I kind of tell people, right? Because they're always talking about, New York City's down, New York City is this. And I'm saying to myself, if New York City is down, why would Slam have their annual game? They come to New York. This year we got the McDonald All-American game. New York City's down. Word? From where? Coach, man, we want to say, man, keep doing your thing. We proud of you, man. run a Class A program. And
thank you so much.
That's right, man. You making history. Coach Mike Beckles in the building.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you, fellas.
Yes,
No
thank you
doubt.
so much, Coach. Keep doing what you're doing, taking great care of the kids, and keep shining for Epic South, man. Good luck
All
the
right.
rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate
right.
it. All
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
I mean, how
Lovable, right?
lucky are those kids? And Pooh, 350. I had 650 in my. I think I had almost 700 in my freshman class at St. Anthony's when I went. In my freshman class, 350 in the school.
Wow, that's crazy.
I can't
That's
even
crazy.
imagine that. Like my respect level is like through the roof. Even we love Coach, but my God, that's so impressive. And the 3A is no joke. Anybody who sleeps on that is crazy. I mean, the teams you just named alone have tons of college prospects on them.
So many. And
Absolutely.
you was saying all yesterday, I don't believe that Marquise Lloyd haven't gotten the interest yet.
And he's a
And
junior.
we don't know, but we definitely gonna make sure that people understand what kind of player he is now.
And listen, Pooh, I have no problem calling out any college. I mean, why weren't there 20, 30 colleges at that event yesterday? I mean, there were tons of kids unsigned and tons of kids who could play. I mean, send a guy. I mean, do your due diligence. There's a lot of lazy coaching staffs out there, man, and the ones that are taking advantage of it are signing great kids because they're all over the place. I mean, tons of seniors were unsigned there yesterday. Guys making huge plays. Nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You want to say pause on that too. All right. Cooper Jones said, Coach Mike Beckles, you still make your players do towels? Probably
Of course.
so,
Of course. They probably did it in a hallway.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
That's
telling you
right.
that he'd be my D-back coach if I needed one. I'm telling you.
Man, so much intensity.
Fire.
So much intensity. Forest Hills was led by TT Pregnon, 16 points, and Aaron Bull Tut, 11 points.
I'm calling him the King, man. I'm calling him King Tut. I like the Bull, but I'm calling him King from now on.
That's an awesome name. That's an awesome name for the young King.
Especially if he could keep it hot, man. I was super impressed with the young fella. A lot of attention picked up the whole way. Coach Beckles had him face guarded as much as possible and eliminated and next out, and they did a great job. But Forest Hills is going to be a team that's around, and watch out for them in the playoffs. Wouldn't want to play them.
Oh, man, they're very, very, very tough.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our first Borough Championship game. Eagle Brooklyn versus Jefferson was not without its fair share of controversy, from a huge switch call to a three-key player fouling out. 3 key players on Eagle fouling out. Man.
And Pooh, should we start with the controversy in the beginning that they're the first game of the day?
Let's get to it.
I don't get it, Pooh. I mean, I can't believe it's the first game, but listen, Brooklyn showed out. Everyone was in the building. All the scouts, everyone was there that was there. The place was packed. And I mean, I know it came down to little iffy things here and there, but it was still a fantastic game. I really enjoyed it.
No, okay. So, spoke to the ref who made the call, Mr. Legree, and we talked about it, right? I'm not going to get into whether the call was right or the call was wrong, right? Because everybody have their own opinion. Everybody saw what they saw. And if I had my 2 cents, it's going to seem like I have some bias. So I'm going to stay away from that. But one thing I am going to say is, that I'm glad the call was overturned, because now no one can blame the refs for the game.
And
Like, that was the key. That was the key.
Yep.
There was other calls that was made, but that was the biggest one. Because if that would have went Jefferson's way,
the game's over. The game's over if Jefferson has that ball. It's over.
And everyone is saying the ref gave him the game. So I'm glad it went into overtime, We start off at 0-0.
I mean, people don't remember, right? Because everyone is a prisoner of the moment, Pooh. Do the Jeff fans remember when they were going ballistic when Malachi Wilson got a tech out of nowhere and had 4 fouls and in the middle of the game out of the blue, and Eagle got to shoot like 4 free throws and get the ball? I mean, and it was a little ticky tack, but like you said, it went to overtime and it was on the teams 100%.
And what about Jeremiah Jacobs going to the line with 3 shots?
I mean, the fact that they called a foul with like 1 second left and they called it a 3. And I mean, listen, it's so funny, like looking back at it now, from my perspective, you talked about it the best. He got off the line and I didn't even think of that when he did that. But why? The player in you just shouted it out. You can't get off the line. And his first 2 were made with so much confidence. I would have had my feet in cement, dude. I wouldn't have. Even if someone threw the ball to the side, I would have said, you know what? I'm not moving until you give me the ball.
You gotta stay locked in.
Yeah.
As soon as he made that first foul shot, he walked off the line.
You're right. And he rushed the third one, I thought, too. He rushed it.
He came down, he knocked the second one down, and then he rushed through the third one.
And listen, I'm sure the nerves were high. I mean, he's such a good player, and he had a terrific game. But, I thought that third one was going down. I thought Eagle was going to pull it off.
Jada Swan. He was so beat up yesterday. He fell down like 3 or 4 times, was in excruciating pain, and still was able to get 16 points out of it and 7 rebounds. And he was only maybe 40%.
And his usage was probably like a 10th of what it usually was.
Yes.
I mean, the other guys on Jeff had the ball in their hands. Jada was hanging on and toughing it out as best as he could. And he was really helping them so much on the defensive end, grabbing rebounds, hitting the deck. And like we said, he was so beat up that he was almost getting new injuries. He was getting so beat up. But what a tough kid. What a warrior. And like he always says, I am not coming out. He's not coming out.
Man, Connor Spradley, who just seems so tired from just constantly being on the ball, getting double team, getting triple team, sending so many players at him, still finished with 14 points, 10 assists.
Yeah, and having to play in the paint a lot too. I mean, defensively. Right. So how many times was he switched on JoJo? I mean, he took a lot of beating too, but man, another warrior who just refused to let his team lose, hit so many big shots.
Talking about big shots, what about that move Trevor Lewis made toward the end of the game? Whoa, what a great shot.
Listen, you know how much I'm a Lewis fan. I think the kid is, like you said, they're rock, they're kind of glue guy, but he's so much more than that. He's got so much potential. He's such a good defender. I mean, you could see him with one hand, and face guarding the ball as much as he could, playing great defense. But that shot was unbelievable, and how clutch it was when Jeff needed it.
Definitely. And then that block that Jada had in overtime was clutch as well.
Monster, man. Like we said, the best shot blocking prospect I've ever seen at the guard position. It's really a special thing, man.
Crazy. Naquan Morris, who got the I Pray MVP, salute to I Pray. He came up huge. He has some key rebounds, some key shots, and some key moments to give Jefferson that edge that they needed. Malachi Wilson also was in foul trouble, but he still was able to get 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists as well. Naquan Morris also had 5 rebounds. Yep.
Yeah, 2 guys that were huge, Pooh, and you always talk about those 2. Those guys were tremendous. Malachi came up big when he actually could play, and just help relieve some pressure. And, Morris, tremendous when he gets his opportunities and really, really made Eagle hurt. But how impressive, Pooh, was Rich Jackson at times for Eagle, man? We got to talk about Rich.
Listen, I'm going to say this right off the back. And then I'm gonna have to show my guy real quick. Just give him some love. Hold on, let me get him here straight. Hold on, okay. Bam. All right. Rich Jackson, he seemed unstoppable at times.
Right?
Unstoppable. He led all scorers with 21 points, but kind of disappeared at key moments. All right. We talked about this, coach. We talked about him being aggressive at times, but then kind of sitting back and kind of letting the game come to him, which he can't do in those moments. Talk about what Rich Jackson did yesterday and how we talked about him disappearing at moments.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see as the next step. You know, Rich Jackson's always been a bucket, and he's shown it in the Catholic League. He's shown it in the PSAL, and he's really stepped up this year. And when he has it going like that, like you said, Pooh, we want to see the next level of, all right, guys, I know you're going here, and I know you're this guy, and you're this guy, but I'm the guy right now, and I'm cooking. I got to get going. Get me the ball. Because, man, he was connecting on threes, and he really got Eagle up. I mean, he got them right back up and was huge for them at times, and easily their go-to player on offense.
For sure. It was definitely, you know,
how excited are you for him next year?
And then fouling out, right? Right?
Yeah,
so
the little sloppy fouls at the end, man.
Wasn't called for. JoJo, he finished with 18, but took himself out the game, bring the ball up instead of being dominant inside. You know, we always talk about that with JoJo. He is the most dominating big man in the city. But sometimes I think he takes himself out of the game by doing the other things that, you know, the guard should be doing. And look, in those key moments, you go to your strengths. I know that he can dribble the basketball. Not saying he can't dribble.
Of course.
You need to go to your strengths in games like that.
When you got superpowers, Pooh, you got to use them in those moments, man. And his superpower is getting to the basket, getting to the rim, you know, getting hit from all over and finishing and getting the foul and going to the line. It's what the kid does. And when he did that, he was unstoppable, like you said. Sometimes tries to do too much. And, you know, that's where guys like Amir Dockery got to get the ball from him, you know, and Rich has got to come get the ball from him, settle him down, get him back in the post. Because we know he can play inside out and he can hit threes. But in those crunch moments, man, get inside and just take Eagle home. That's it.
Thomas Jefferson for the next week straight. Salt water pool relaxation. Then in the evening, everyone needs to take the ice bath. I know. Pooh, what are you talking about, ice bath? When you go to college, you don't have a choice.
You're thrown right in, right?
You're thrown at that is part of the regimen. You might as well get used to it now. It will heal your body tremendously.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave. Right? You're not allowed to leave till you get an ice bath. Right?
That's what it is. Ankles taped is just the routine. It's part of playing college basketball.
Yeah, man. Guys watch film in the ice bath, bro.
For sure. Hey, listen, what I want to do now, I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's show, I Pray Clothing. See, I'm rocking it right here, the Brooklyn Bridge. This is their Brooklyn line right here. Coach got him some merch. My guy Fi got him some merch, and they gave out merch for all the MVPs yesterday. So I just want to show them some love. We'll be right back to talk about more Borough Championships. All right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Check out the new sponsor for High School Basketball Weekly, I Pray Clothing. You know, clothing that fit for the culture and is about the culture. So if you stay prayed up, make sure you wearing the I Pray Clothing /Brooklyn. Y'all know what it is. Glenn Poole Harding, Basketball Heads, High School Basketball Weekly.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of
Fire.
No doubt. So anybody else that want to come on and support what we're doing, we need gear. My guy, B been saying it for the longest. He needs some gear. Hook my guy up. He's
I
gonna
need
wear
some
it. He's gonna be
caps,
out and
man. I
about.
need some new lids,
That's
man.
right.
I'm
That's
wearing
right.
out the golf hats.
For sure, for sure.
We
Let's
going to the next borough?
yeah, Manhattan, right? We go to Manhattan.
Listen, man,
TMA.
we both nailed this one. We both were on the Panthers, and they came up big. But graphics probably impressed me the most out of any underdog of the day. Those kids were tough. Besides the technical and a couple lapses in judgment, I don't know if the Panthers come home with this one because graphics gave them all they could handle.
They started out man to man, and graphics was wearing them out. They was in the beginning of the game. They could not hold on to graphics jockstrap in the beginning, and then Coach Torrance kind of made some adjustments in the
That's right.
second half, and they kind of slowed down their pace a little bit and was able to get the win. But huge, huge game for graphics. They played a great game, but TMA came out with the win, baby.
Yeah, watch
Second year
out
in a row.
for graphics in the playoffs, 100%. But TMA, super impressive. The big man, once again, energy, 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 man. He's the lifeblood of that team. Him and Bush make so many plays. They allow Torrance and Harris to get cooking. And Julian Harris is a heck of a player. TMA's got some dudes, man. Some colleges should be all over that team.
And look, yesterday we gave out some players of the game, right? And we gave it out to the impact players. And that's not necessarily the leading scorer, right? Because a lot of things that the big fella was doing yesterday, and we're talking about Abdul Akim Mazone Turion, he had 11 points, 3 huge dunks, but he controlled the paint. He made those guards adjust those shots, and he made it difficult for them. And this kid, look, we're going to look later on in some years and say, wow, this kid is at a big-time program doing some huge things because he haven't really reached his potential yet.
Yeah, I get criticized for opinions and reaching on kids, and people always say I'm too positive about prospects sometimes, especially in New York. But I see a D1 kid. I see a guy who does a lot of things, checks off a lot of boxes. Like Pooh said, has yet to scratch the surface, and I think Bush, Harris, a couple of those kids could play in college, and the big man, super intriguing the way he could hit threes. He's dynamic. He's what schools look for. And I just loved his energy throughout the game. I think he takes TMA to a whole new level.
And this is what I'm watching. I'm watching this kid in the back of his team in the front court, but he's watching everything. And he's pointing the guys. He's directing traffic and where people need to go. And that's a person that shows me he has a high basketball IQ.
Definitely.
And that doesn't get a lot of credit. That's not in the stat book, right? His energy level. He's a talker. He's someone that really gets into the game. So,
those are the things you look for as a coach, right, Pooh? And
definitely.
And listen, me and you, Pooh's the star, but we're not leading scorers, right? We're not all about that number. We're looking for guys who are making plays, who are impact and winning. A lot of guys could score 20 points on 20-something shots. But the impact that this kid had, I mean, like Pooh said, not only defensively, offensively, he's moving guys around the zone, trying to get him a lob. I mean, I really liked what this kid did. I was super impressed with TMA, and I can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs. Wouldn't want to play him.
Nah, and look, their leader, Ahmad Torrance, going to North State. This kid is a player. Last year, I thought he took a lot of shots, which was earned, right? This year, he's spreading the ball around and getting everybody in the game, which that means his game is maturing, right? His game is maturing. And your guy, Julian Harris, man, spark plug for that team, and definitely going to have a good future.
And now let's get to where Pooh took me down. Game 3, Eagle Monroe. Because This game was a slugfest, man. Slugfest for over three and a half quarters.
Slugfest. This was a boxing match. This is an MMA matchup right here.
I mean, these two coaching staffs, I mean, tremendous.
Yeah, look, you already know. You could just tell that these kids don't really like each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real.
For sure.
Their respect to compete and not come to blows and take it to that next extent. It was just hard basketball play yesterday, you know, and you could tell that they have a lot of respect for each other, and it showed. It showed. That Bronx Borough Championship was against Monroe, Eagle, Bronx for the third time, and it was a hell of a game. Eagle Bronx won 56-49, and I spoke to Coach Rose before the game, and he said the key for them was going to be sacrifice. And they did just that yesterday with sophomore stud Elijah King scoring 16 points. Senior leader R.J. Walker, who's in foul trouble, had 11 points. And what can we say about C.J. Dorland? 10 points, but some awesome dunks. And we can't forget the other sophomore, Gio Moran, who had 10 points. What can we talk about the things that Eagle Bronx did yesterday to make them successful, Coach?
I think while they were struggling and while they were trying to find their footing and their identity and how tough they needed to be, they always kept the score manageable, right? They didn't allow Monroe to get any big runs. They didn't allow Monroe to hit multiple threes at any time. They really tried to limit and slow down Monroe as much as they can. And even when, Barry got going at times and Condi, who was a monster at times, they always kind of kept it close, because they were waiting to make their run. And while, Cummings was in foul trouble, Randolph was in foul trouble, RJ was in foul trouble, to have those sophomores step up. I mean, they were fantastic. They were the X factor, and they really stepped up and pushed Eagle to the top, man. Gio Moran was fantastic. I mean, to think he would be in double digits in that game, no way.
They had to compete against, Amadou Barry, 15 points. He was the floor general for Monroe the whole night. And Carafala Manchow Condi was limited to 14 points because he was in foul trouble as well. So they did a hell of a job against them and preventing them to go off and doing what they did to them at home and getting the win. So salute to the whole Eagle Academy Bronx, the academy as they're called, for getting the win.
And that was 4 in a row? They were excited, man. They were bouncing around.
Yes, salute.
I mean, for those
four-time Borough champions. Yes.
For those seniors that have been around all 4 years, I mean, that's impressive, man. I mean, they really do a great job over there, and they're a death by 1,000 cuts too, with all the guys they could plug and play. They even had some big men coming in to steal minutes and help out. But like we said, two different Monroe teams. I mean, Pooh, they had him 39-36. Barry was in control, the agitator. I mean, man, if he wasn't on my team, I'd be screaming at the ref about him. But if he was on my team, I'd love him, man. I mean, what a tough kid. What a tough kid.
Like I said earlier, which Monroe team was going to show up? Which one?
Yeah. And I didn't know what happened throughout the quarters, man. But they just ran out of gas. They couldn't hit a shot. And they were just in foul trouble, man. They ran out of steam. But shout out Glasses, Coach Brown. They do such a fantastic job for, all those kids. And they've developed those kids so much. And they're another team. Man, if you got to face them in that playoff bracket, I would not like it because no matter what, they're going to beat you up.
Listen, they was down yesterday, but they're never out.
Never out.
City playoffs, you better watch out for Monroe because they're going to be around to knock you off if you slip up.
No doubt.
Sure. Shout out to Ayatollah Beast in the building, the #1 basketball head in the building. No doubt.
Listen, Pooh, but today is the Catholic League Day, my friend.
Yes, but
Sunday.
before we get there, let me give a shout out to all my guys who was MVP yesterday.
Oh,
Want to give
yeah.
a shout out to them. And show them some love. I didn't get a chance to show them earlier. The first one was Naquan Mo Morris. All right. He had a hell of a game, very integral part of their win. 13 points, 5 rebounds. All right, for
Huge.
sure. And next
Shout
up,
out.
that's right. That's right. And next up, we're gonna go to Manhattan, right? Need to go to Manhattan
That's
for our
right.
next crew right now. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Gotta put these guys on the screen. Show them some love, man. Gotta show them some love.
Yeah, and
All right.
Morris unsigned.
Hey, listen, Amar Torrance. I got both of them down there. All right, good job. But the big fella definitely got the merch. 11 points. Good job, fellas. Good job. Good job.
No doubt, man. Put on for TMA. The whole Panther family's proud of those guys, man.
Definitely. And then we got our guy, the young stud, the sophomore, Elijah King.
Let's go. Shout out the whole King crew, man. Love the King family.
No doubt. Salute, salute. The hoodie fits so nice. I praise, salute. Appreciate you.
Yeah, the gear is fire. I can't wait to wear mine on Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I put on. I didn't think mine was gonna fit. This is nice. I threw it on. Said, you know what, we doing the show. Let me rock it. Let me rock it. And then last but not least, you know, we got a show. Hold on. Let me get the right one on this screen. Showed this earlier, but I'm going to do it again. People from Epic South, salute, salute, salute.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout
Great
out the whole
job.
family over there. Epic.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's get right to business with the Captain School League.
Let's go, baby. Only one
Let's
way to
go.
wrap up the show with a little all league selections.
Now, do we save the player of the year for last? Do we do that? Can we do that?
We could do that. We could do that.
All right.
We could do a Where's Waldo and who's missing from the list.
There you go. There you go. I'm with that. I'm with that. Hold on, let me get this first team straight so everybody can see it all together.
Make sure you don't expose that top name, man.
Nah. That's all. I'm getting it up right now. I'm just gonna move some of this. Who's this? Okay, I need to get you here. All right, cool. So would you just go over some of the things without, letting any names loose? Were you surprised by this list?
Definitely, man. I thought there were a couple names that surprised me that made the list, and I thought a couple names on there I didn't think would be on there were, and I was really happy. So, I thought overall the committee did a really good job. Maybe one or two I would maybe argue against, but overall they did a great job. They nailed the coach of the year. I just think they did a great job as a committee and as a whole. And Catholic League really has a nice focus on what they're doing. Pooh, I think they're having an excellent year overall, and it's definitely stock I would buy in this league for sure.
All right, so without further ado, let's put up first team. Can we do that?
Let's see.
Let's
see his
first team
skills
real quick. Let's put up the first team real quick. All right, first team.
That's right. And it's a fantastic list, man.
Yes, so first team we got Via Anthony, St. Francis Prep, Brandon Stores, St. Raymond's. We got, why did he got his name like this? Osiyama Sako. They done put a D in his name. It's crazy. All right, Josiah Jervis, Danny Carbuccia, and Johnny Keenan. First team, all league. Coach, did they get it right?
I am going to say they did. I think there's a player or two that's very close to going from 2 to 1, but I think Johnny Buckets was huge this year. Iona had a great year. Stepanak definitely deserved to have at least two guys on there. And Prep did too. I mean, Vier had an unreal year. Sacco's been really heating up, and Storrs is one of the leading scorers. So I'm good with the list.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. I could agree with that for sure. All right. Second team. Right? We got Ty Turner, St. Raymond's, Jaden Ramirez, Christ the King, Dylan Callahan, Iona Prep, Markel Alston, Christ the King, David Gaiman, Cardinal Hayes, and Ethan Butler, St. Francis Prep.
Wow, man. This is an exciting list. You know, and while there are three senior guards, there's also some underclassmen that are coming back next year potentially that could have even bigger years. So I really like this list. Callahan's been fantastic. Butler has really grown leaps and bounds at Prep. The two Christ the King guards have been fantastic. Really helped Christ the King get back on their feet. We know how you feel about Ty Turnage and how I feel about Ty. He's fantastic. And the Cardinal Hayes man, David Gaiman, who nobody had on his list to be an all-league selection. So shout out David, who might have even been a first-team all-selection. He's been that good.
That's right. That's right. Ethan Butler, is he only a freshman?
No, Ethan Butler's a junior. Ethan Butler's a junior.
Okay. I don't know why everybody keep calling him a freshman. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up with somebody else. Ethan Butler's definitely a stud for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, third team.
Read them out.
Malik Fields, Cardinal Hayes, Dior Anderson, Monsignor Scaling, Adonis Ratliff, Stepanak, St. Lou, Diokani, St. Pete. We always kill his name. Pardon me. Diokani, St. Peter's, Dylan Stanley, Holy Cross, Justin Delgado, Nazareth, and the coach of the year.
Our guy, Coach Maz.
Coach Patrick Massaroni.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations to Coach Maz. They nailed it. He did a great job. And I thought some other guys did some great job as well. A lot of guys really took their programs, Coach Turnage, Coach Loads, Coach Lynch, Arbitello. So many great coaches were in the mix. But I think Coach Maz deserved it and took it home. I thought that was the right choice. Pooh, what do you think?
Nah, I thought they got it right. They got it right. I don't have any arguments with this list. I think they got it right. They've been doing their homework. Salute to the Captain School League. Great job.
Yeah, and I want to shout out. I know you were high on Dylan Stanley. I've been pumping up Justin Delgado all year. That was great to see him on the list. You knew a Ratliff had to be on there, right?
Yep.
And Dr. Anderson representing for Scanlon, and Malik Fields. Another guy really getting Hayes in the right direction for a big playoff push.
All right.
Who's
missing
from his list?
Look, I need people in the chat right now. I need y'all in the chat. If y'all know anything about New York City basketball, y'all know a name was missing. Who was missing? I need to know. Who was missing from the list?
And there were a couple big names not listed, but there was one that I think people might have had an eye on that they said, whoa, he didn't make the first or the second?
That's right. Who was missing from the list? I need to know. Somebody wasn't on the list, son.
I don't know if they were paying attention, Pooh. I don't know if they were locked in.
They're not locked in. They don't understand. They don't get it.
Even CK, Ayatollah Beats. Come on, man.
I'm going to spoil the fun. Congratulations. The Captain of School Player of the Year, Halon Rollins.
The king of the Kingsmen.
For sure. He is the leading scorer for the whole Captain School League. Let me get that up real quick.
He's been fantastic, Pooh.
Yes.
We had him on last year. He's a terrific young man. And with all the expectations on him, he's got his squad right in the mix in the playoffs again. And he's been unbelievable on the offensive end, almost unstoppable at times, even against the top programs. No one's really had an answer for him, whether he's hitting threes, getting to the rim, making plays for others, or on the defensive end where he's an absolute nightmare for opposing offenses.
That's right. Averaging 21 points a game. He's probably averaging like another 12, 13, 14 rebounds, like 3 assists, 4 or 5 blocks a game. He does it all. He fills up the stat sheet. Salute to this young man. I watch him come up throughout the years. Coach Irvin has done a great job with him, and we're going to see him at a Division I program come next year. Just waiting for him to make his decision.
I just see him winning like a conference title at the next level, Po. I just see him on one of those teams where he's the guy that just does his role, helps them win, fills up the stats, and a guy who just knows how to win, and he'll take the game-winning charge and hit the game-winning three. He can do it on both ends. He's coached by McDonald's All-American coach, and he's really developed and become a great player. Cannot wait to see where he goes.
And speaking of taking the charge and hitting the three, I seen him do that in the ISA championship.
Of course.
Okay, took a charge, hit a three. They won the game. Super, super young man, even better person.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to Halon Rollins, man, for sure.
And Pooh, we got the the first rounds of the CHSA round where we got Iona, Mount, Ray, Scanlon, and Hayes Peters going on right now at Mount. So I'm excited to get the results of those, man. And they're all streaming on Mount's Huddle, by the way.
Okay. So after this, I'll go check out those games.
Yeah, they'll be streaming.
We're going to hibernation for a few days. We've been doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you want to come on today and get this out the way because the Borough Championships is awesome, and definitely want to highlight those Captain School players. Salute to Coach Mike Beckles, Epic South, for coming on. We appreciate you, Coach. Keep doing great things. And any last word before we get out of here?
Before I let you go, man, I tried to bring them, everyone. All the Lehigh faithful. Carmelo was asking about you. Everyone wants to know where the food man was. All the stars were there. But man, Lehigh put on a show and represented for Long Island last night. I was so happy to be there. I was on fumes, but Dylan Mingo took us home, sent me home smiling with a 3-pointer at the end, and really showed out for Long Island. So perfect ending to a great basketball day, man.
Nah, that was definitely awesome. That was awesome right there.
Crazy.
Yes, great shot. I wish I could show it, but somehow it's not playing right now. But if y'all want to go see it, go check out that Lehigh IMG game yesterday. Awesome. New York came out on top, baby. New York versus Florida, baby. Y'all know what we do.
Let's go.
Any last words before we get out of here?
Pooh, thank you so much for yesterday, man. I had a blast. Shout out Fa.
Always
holding it down, man. And everything, and getting right in the mix. I thought it was great, and shout out to PSAL too, because that was a fantastic event. Mike Liebert, all those guys were awesome from start to finish, and I love being part of the NYC community, and I hope to push the PSAL as much as I can because it's a great league, and they always treat me great. And Pooh, you're a celebrity there, and I just love being a part of what we do, baby.
Now, appreciate you, brother, and congratulations. Keep doing big things. Don't forget about me, man. Jordan gonna snatch you up. You gonna be having, on the yacht and everything, puffing cigars and all that. Come on, man.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna be driving the boat, baby. You're gonna be driving the boat.
I do not drive boats, B. I do not drive boats. I'll be sitting right next to you. Nah, I can't take the cigar smell, so I'll probably be somewhere on the deck. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, be good, man. I can't wait. We're gonna hibernate, and then we're gonna reload for this monster playoffs. Long Island, NYC, Upstate. I can't wait, Pooh. I can't wait.
Yes, and you kids, let me tell y'all something. This is a message for all these kids. Listen, I know y'all see us doing the High School Basketball Weekly, but I do have another podcast, Basketball Heads, where I interview all the legends. I got a great show coming up with Gary Charles. It's already done, just waiting for it to get edited. And then tomorrow we have the ambassador of New York City basketball, Antoine Marichon, on Tuesday.
Wow,
That is going to be a 2-part series.
That's
He is the creator of the Rose Classic, the Conrad McRae basketball league, youth basketball league. He also is big time scout for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He also has a major position with EBY. What's that?
You nailed it.
EYBISL.
EYBL.
Yes, EYBL. And does a ton of other things on the side. He's helped so many coaches, so many players, so many people getting positions in college basketball and the NBA. This man is a great guy, great friend of mine for a long time since we were kids playing against each other and competing. And I'm glad, we can get him on the show, man, so he can tell his story, man. So salute Antoine Marichon and the whole Marichon family. It's his High School Basketball Weekly, episode 41, season 2. We out.
RJ Walker, 41, baby.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, we forgot. Glenn Rice, 141. He 141.
You got me, Pooh. You got me.
That was Fa. Fa told us about that one. Salute. Yes,
Unbelievable.
Sir. We out of here. Peace, y'all.